You're listening to the Spark Radio Network, Internet radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Most writers and radio show hosts know that to connect with your fans, you need to do more than just write books or record the latest podcasts. There are many different elements that go into forming an online platform, but there are also many hidden traps. To make matters worse, solid advice on how to survive the muddy waters is scarce. In the book Hidden Traps, I talk about some of the important issues of working with an online platform, highlighting traps that could put your physical or internet security at risk or be harmful to your reputation. Are your social media posts just links with a few disjointed words, making you look like someone who can't complete a sentence? Did your new website cost you more than you anticipated? Are you leaking your personal contact details across the web without even knowing it? Then you need Hidden Traps. Hidden Traps is now available in paperback and ebook from a variety of retailers, including Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Kobo. Visit blackwolfpublications.com for more details.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-553-8687. That's 800-553-8687. Again, 800-553-8687.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq. Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now, 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Sometimes writers feel lost, unsure why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing into full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, offering manuscript critiques and line edits through a mentoring editorial style. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services, visit blackwolfeditorial.com.
You're listening to the Spark Radio Network, internet radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
My name is Jessie, and I'm proud of the life I have, surrounded by military and aware just how big the world really is. I have a unique perspective on life and the world around us. If you're willing to listen, I'll tell you how I see it, and I won't pull any punches. This is my POV, which stands for Point of View. Alright, how's everybody doing out there tonight? Yes, I miss you when we're not talking. Now, I'm going to apologize that Monday was a best of. It wasn't planned that way, but Mr. Frog had made his presence all too clear. All too clear. And I had two choices. I could give you a best of on Monday and potentially be great the rest of the week, or I could attempt to carry on Monday and potentially fade and struggle all week. I was right on the cusp of getting rid of Mr. Frog and the crud in my throat. So I made the decision, since Monday was Martin Luther King Day, to give you guys a best of, save my voice, and get to spend more time with you later in the week. Now, I do have an announcement. Tomorrow night, it's Wednesday. And guess who's going to join me tomorrow night? Any guesses? Any guesses? If you said Justin Kinney, who I just want to call co-host, but he still insists on being a quote-unquote guest, although, good grief, does he really even need an introduction anymore? At least not for my regulars. And so, like I said, yep, Justin's joining me tomorrow night. And I'm working on setting up another Justin and Wild combination, because I thought that was fun. But Justin will definitely be in the house tomorrow night. Maybe we can get him on over in the chat room, and if we have a bunch of people in the chat, maybe we can get pressure for him to join us more often. That would be awesome. Yes, I want to get rid of the guest Justin Kinney and make it co-host Justin Kinney. And Justin, if you're listening, get over it and just let's make it once a week. All right. Now, there is a lot going on. We have all heard an amazing amount of things going on this week. And I'm trying to figure out where to start. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to play you guys something that I just personally view as important. And then we will get on with the show. This is just a personal favored clip. And for you guys can't see my audio board, but it lives here all the time. I almost never play it. And for those of you who remember someone that everybody at the station did shout-outs to, which was online, he was known as Scott Harvath. Offline, he was known as Sergeant Terry O'Hara, 9/11 first responder. All right, I just feel the need to play this bit of audio tonight.
For anyone going through any type of personal battle, whether it's cancer, PTSD, depression, a personal challenge that they want to do. They want to go climb Mount Everest. You need to stay in the fight. And when I say that, I mean mentally. If you're not mentally in the fight, if you don't stay in the fight, you can't win.
All right, and those are the wonderful and very true words of Terry O'Hara, a.k.a. Scott Harvath. Unfortunately, he did lose his battle with stage 4 esophageal cancer, but I was just feeling the need to remind everyone of those words. I don't know why, but I was. All right. You know what that is. It is the show prep. Yes, I've got quite a bit sitting here on my desk. No clue if I'm going to get through it all. But before I get started, there's one more thing I want to cover. You know how I end certain shows with taps? Well, do you know the sigh of relief that comes with it when I wander on over to defense.gov and the various other sites I check for these notifications and don't see any new casualty notifications? I mean, I'm proud to honor their last the men and women who give their last full measure, but I'm even more thrilled not to have to. So, now what do we have on tap for tonight? Well, we got a couple of things. Yeah, you know me, I've always got something going. Well, we've got, well, what would a show around here be without North Korea? We've got, by the way, y'all know, of course, that China's rearing its ugly head, and I'm willing to bet. Okay, I gotta say this one. There's a propaganda game being played that is just absolutely beyond the pale. And Trump isn't the one playing it. China isn't the one playing it. North Korea is. Now, they are the masters of propaganda. Remember, they have absolute control over everything in that country. There is no basic freedom of thought or freedom of expression in that country. It is the state way or the highway. All right. So, we're going to talk a little bit about the fact that, well, North Korea is attempting what I'd like to say is pull a fast one on the rest of the world. And this time they're not launching anything other than a propaganda war. Yeah, they've got a pretty good propaganda war going. Oh, well, we want to be nice and come to the Olympics. Oh, we'll play nice. Yeah, uh-huh. I'm sorry. This is just getting a little bit out of paw, as Host Kitty would say. And North Korea, I have no doubt that they've been planning this for some time. Would you like to know why? All right, I'll give you those answers. North Korea has been practicing the music they will play at the Olympics, according to some reports, for several months. This is 140 musicians. And because they don't play anything without hundreds of hours of rehearsals. Now, most of their music glorifies Kim Jong-un, their quote-unquote dear leader, and the capability of their missiles and how wonderful a place North Korea is. Well, they're supposed to play in Seoul during the Olympics. Now, they say they're going to change their tune. Does a leopard change its spots? I don't think so. I'm sure they will slip at least a few propaganda songs, maybe some of the more subtle ones, into their repertoire in South Korea. Because they would like, believe it or not, South Koreans to defect to North Korea because it's such a quote-unquote wonderful place. And if I had a laugh track, I'd be playing it right now. I'm going to make mental note. Get laugh sound effect. Hysterical laughter, preferably. Yeah. Yeah, I'm reorganizing my show prep. Yeah, workers' paradise. If you like working at slave wages and marching to work and still having to scrounge to feed your family. And I was watching some video taken inside North Korea, but it was part of a news documentary. And one of the children said Kim Jong-un, and this was a 10-year-old at his birthday party, said that Kim Jong-un, the dear leader, loves him more than his own parents do because he provided such a wonderful feast for this child's birthday. Womp womp. Can we say brainwashed? All right, back to the North Korean orchestra. Now, they're still negotiating North Korea's role in the Winter Olympics, and there's a vague deal worked out, but one key detail on the northern side emerged Monday. And the regime plans to send a 140-member orchestra to South Korea as part of its overall delegation size. And of course, the parties are still in negotiations. Well, guess what? That orchestra is evidently non-negotiable, so is their playing in the South. And North Korea's Hwang, one of the North Korean negotiators, is quoted as saying, "We believe that our great symphony will be enthusiastically received. We hope that the talks could go smoothly so as to help our art troupe perform well in the South." Really? Okay. The art troops' participation is still being worked out, but they're known for performing such things as songs glorifying the leader, discussing the nuclear missiles. Let me look at some of the... I'm not even going to try and read their titles. My Korean, even transliterated, ain't that cool. I mean, the North threatened to back out of the games. By the way, the North threatened to back out even at this late date after South Korea's President Moon credited Trump. The North threw a hissy fit. Now, here's the deal. By the way, let's get back to the orchestra. Yeah, they play things that glorify the leader, their missiles, and how they're going to kill Americans. That doesn't sound like something the Olympics needs. Anybody want a dose of propaganda to go along with your Olympic broadcast? Thanks, I'll pass. Now, the two North Korean figure skaters have legitimately qualified. So what other athletes are going to come with this alleged 400 to 500 person delegation? Well, the North Koreans would like to help South Koreans dress out a unified Korean women's hockey team. Seems even in North Korea, they want to illustrate the wonders of their women. Well, I'm not saying that their women aren't outstanding. You got to be pretty good just to survive in that country. However, this is not sitting well. Nope. It is not sitting well. And like I said, the whole thing to me is being viewed as an absolute propaganda play on a massive scale, which is the only way North Korea knows how to do propaganda. I mean, come on, we'd barely heard anything. Even news junkies like me had barely heard the name Kim Jong-un uttered more than 2 years before his father's death, and yet he supposedly was this great person being groomed to take over, having attended all these ceremonies, yet there was never a single photo of him released in any official capacity prior to 2 years before his father's death. So it's going to be one of those things. Now, let's talk South Korean women's ice hockey. This is their first and probably their last time to get to participate. Yep. Ron in chat is absolutely cracking me up. He put some proposed song titles up. And let's see. Oh Holy Kim, O Little Town of Panmunjom, Rudolph the Red-Tipped Missile, and Kim Jong-un is coming to town. I skipped one intentionally, Ron, because that one would probably be viewed... He has one, I saw mommy kissing Kim Jong-un. You don't kiss a god. So that one would probably be taken very negatively. But, okay, so the South Korean women's hockey coach is fuming that all of a sudden there is going to be a joint team. She is fuming. And because the Olympic roster is set at 22 players, you can't have more than 22. And her players have worked hard to get on the team. And now she's going to have to bench some of them for a joint team. She is fuming. So close to the Olympics. I mean, when the rumors started a couple years ago, she's like, yeah, well, let's see what happens. And now the Olympics start on February 9th, less than a month away. This team has been practicing, and the South Korean team has been practicing and playing together for some time. And now some South Korean players may be robbed of the chance to play in what very well may be South Korea's women's hockey's only Olympic appearance, because it's making its debut as a host nation. It's not good enough yet to qualify for the Olympics on the merits, but as host nation, you get to pull a few strings. It's one of the benefits of getting the Olympics. And the team said one thing back in June. They didn't want to be a political statement. They just want to play their game. And she said, well, it's part of mental toughness. This is another thing we can't control. We just have to work on doing what we do best and just play our game. Now, the coach did say her biggest concern would be team chemistry. Because so close to the Olympics, we're talking 3 weeks out, and these players probably won't arrive more than a few days prior. Yeah, it's going to be, you don't just change a working strategy like that. And Murray's going, no matter how many North Koreans are added, no one will be guaranteed ice time. And she hopes she's not pressured to play North Koreans. And she doesn't want politics to interfere with her game. And I don't blame her. I don't blame her. South Korean hockey coach Murray, that is for you. Sarah Murray. I believe she's originally from Canada. So, now, the whole thing of the Olympics, they could have done this and filed all the paperwork normally and gone about this through the normal channels. But guess what? They wouldn't be making headline news. But they knew, they read Moon correctly. President Moon is South Korea's version of our former President Obama. And they knew that South Korea would do practically anything to have them participate. So, the big question is, who is going to represent Kim Jong-un at South Korea's Winter Olympics? And there's a number of possibilities. It looks like it may be his sister, Kim Yo-young. It will be the first time for any Kim family member to visit South Korea. If they send a top official such as Cho Rong-hae or Kim Yong, Y-O-N-G, Nam. No, we are not resurrecting the dead. That's why I spelled it. The president of the Presidium of People's Supreme Assembly of North Korea. They could at least exchange messages with Mike Pence, who will be representing the United States on the sideline. But if they send his sister, we don't know what, if any, diplomatic authority she has. So this is one of those, yeah. This was a game, I'm thinking Kim Jong-un, yes, dear sweet quackers, has a play I believe he has been working on for months. Because doing it the normal way would gain him nothing. All right, folks, it is time to pay those radio station bills. So, we are going to run off to commercial break, and I will see you on the other side.
You're listening to the Spark Radio Network, Internet radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Most writers and radio show hosts know that to connect with your fans, you need to do more than just write books or record the latest podcasts. There are many different elements that go into forming an online platform, but there are also many hidden traps. To make matters worse, solid advice on how to survive the muddy waters is scarce. In the book Hidden Traps, I talk about some of the important issues of working with an online platform, highlighting traps that could put your physical or internet security at risk, or be harmful to your reputation. Are your social media posts just links with a few disjointed words, making you look like someone who can't complete a sentence? Did your new website cost you more than you anticipated? Are you leaking your personal contact details across the web without even knowing it? Then you need Hidden Traps. Hidden Traps is now available in paperback and ebook from a variety of retailers, including Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Kobo. Visit blackwolfpublications.com for more details.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-553-8687. That's 800-553-8687. Again, 800-553-8687.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq. Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is, if getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now, 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Sometimes riders feel lost, unsure why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing into full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, offering manuscript critiques and line edits through a mentoring editorial style. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services, visit blackwolfeditorial.com.
Everything is changing. Little Superman falls. Everything is breaking apart now. There's one to save us all. Superman falls.
All right, thank you all for hanging in there with me while I paid those radio station bills. Now, what you guys don't hear, and I'm not going to read it, if you want to get in on it, you're going to have to get your 6 o'clock over to the chat room at klrnradio.com/chat while I am live. Ron and I were bantering back and forth the whole commercial break, talking some stuff that will never hit the airwaves. You want to get in on stuff like that? You got to join me in chat while I'm live. Now, of course, I'm willing to banter with you via email at jessiespov@klrnradio.com. And you can also find me on Twitter at my new @ symbol. And for those of you who are following me, you're still following me. It's just now at Radio Host Jesse. All right. Now, we're going to move on. I've given Quackers enough airtime for one night, my friends. He ain't getting the whole show. Not tonight. I don't care what that duck has to say. I just yanked him off the stage. All right, his microphone got shut down. I got something really cool. And you know me, I scour for audio. Now, this is an anecdote that was told at today's Operation Inherent Resolve press conference. If I didn't know better, I would have said this was a member of the United States Special Forces. But the actions you're going to hear were part of the CTS, which is, I think, the Counterterrorism Strike Force over in Iraq. And I was impressed. And it's a little over a minute, but it is so worth listening to.
They're professional and capable forces committed to the future of Iraq, and we quite honestly take pride in their successes. I'll share with you an example that demonstrates their professionalism. During the height of conflict in Mosul, there was a CTS soldier on guard who observed several ISIS fighters moving towards his position. With no time to warn his teammates, he engaged one of the fighters. The 4 remaining ISIS fighters unleashed a hail of gunfire on the CTS position, hitting his particular CTS soldier 5 times. With bravery, he continued to defend his position as another ISIS fighter attempted to enter through the back of the house. CTS soldier was able to shoot the fighter before he entered the home, but not before the combatant was able to detonate his suicide belt. The blast from the detonation threw the already wounded CTS soldier into a wall, further injuring him. Still fighting, however, now alongside his awakened teammates, they were able to drive away the remaining ISIS fighters. And his actions reflect the courage, tenacity, and strength it takes to be a member of the elite counterterrorism service here in Iraq, and explain a little bit about the culture of the organization.
I mean, could you not see almost those exact same actions being tagged to the words United States Special Forces? All right, if those guys are able to do this without us holding their hand, we're actually accomplishing something over there. I mean, that was a pretty awesome thing. I don't know if he survived. I didn't hear any mention of yes or no in the press conference. But I tripped across that anecdote and went, that has got to make the news. Because that's something your mainstream media won't take the airtime to give you. Now, that is not the only part of Operation Inherent Resolve I've got for you. I just thought I had to lead off with it. Because it was just that freaking amazing. All right, here's a little bit more of a serious overall update.
Iraqi security forces continue to pursue the few ISIS fighters that seek to threaten the people of Iraq and clear previously ISIS-occupied areas, making them safe for residents. The campaign against ISIS has resulted in over 4.5 million people in Iraq liberated from the evil of ISIS, and we congratulate the government of Iraq on their success and are proud to stand beside them. However, we must not lose sight of the fact that much work remains to ensure the enduring defeat of this evil terrorist ideology. ISIS has demonstrated its desire to return to its terrorist roots with the bombings and attacks that have killed innocent civilians in Ramadi, Nasiriyah, Baghdad, and elsewhere over the past several weeks. Our Iraqi partners continue to provide security, which will increasingly include policing and border control functions, to prevent the migration and reemergence of the ISIS threat.
All right, so they are beginning to be able to handle things on their own. We never thought this was going to be an overnight in and out thing. And the last time it failed because not only did we tell the world we're pulling out on X date, we also basically said, oh, you've got what training you've got. We're gone. Bye. And that's not the way you actually conduct training. Serious training needs to be done when the majority of the people have learned it. You move them on. Those that can't hack it, you roll them back or you find somewhere else to work, put them to work. We have a fixed date, doesn't matter what ground conditions are method. That was doomed to failure. All right, one more OIR audio clip, maybe another one, but I've got one more queued up.
The ISF has proven itself a legitimate fighting force that has and will continue their momentum, provide security for the people of Iraq, and quell the rise of new insurgencies. This has been shown in the last few weeks as the ISF has destroyed over 100 IEDs and thousands of pounds of explosives across Iraq.
Now, the IEDs and explosives are little surprises that were left behind by ISIS and other terrorist little groups for when people returned home. Yeah. Now that's not to say everything in Iraq is coming up roses. That is not to say everything is coming up roses. But I gotta say that I think this time there is real progress being made. So, what can I say? Now, I've got one other little side note. And yes, this one is a complete side note. This one's a cross between Iraq and military news. Marine veteran Bill DeRoche had been encouraged for years to enter an art competition at the Minneapolis VA. He was injured in 2004. A bomb blast struck his convoy in Iraq. And he was told entering the art competition was a way to publicly address the trauma that continues to affect him. So he put his heart and soul into this piece of artwork. He did a lot of reading and hearing over the years about the IED stuff. He sat down and he really worked on it. He worked hard on this sculpture. Okay? However, he is classified, and this guy, keep in mind, he is classified as 100% disabled by the VA, including 100% rating for TBI or traumatic brain injury. And his sculpture has the 455 millimeter casings wired together inside of it. It's made to look like an IED, but there's some things about it that you can tell aren't real. I'll tweet out a picture of it later. And you know, he at least thought to give the VA a heads up that the sculpture was constructed of materials that made it ominous looking. So the VA asked for a picture. And the VA police decided the shells would represent a safety risk. And because of the shells. And why would the police have any say about what's in artwork? Wipe it, touch it, have dogs sniff it, whatever. They're shells, they're empty. And then they said, well, the sight of the shells could trigger other veterans. The VA suggested substituting the shells with papier-mâché versions or photographs. And another another St. Paul, Minnesota nonprofit that provides art therapy for veterans said his work is the kind of art the VA should embrace rather than reject. So submissions at the VA are being accepted through the end of January, except for this guy's. And he was quoted as saying, everything I went through there was a speed bump. Now I feel like I'm being crapped on again. Way to go, VA. Way to go. Fail. I mean, really, fail. Now, I am almost out of time, and I do have a couple other things I want to at least gloss over. I haven't completely shaken Mr. Frog, but I guess I just need a quick sip of water, so you're going to have to pardon me for just 1 second. All right. This news story had me completely flabbergasted. All right? You think a former member of the CIA would know how to handle classified information? Anybody think probably? Well, evidently not. So, a former Central Intelligence officer was arrested at JFK Airport in Queens, New York. He is a naturalized United States citizen. He was currently residing in Hong Kong. He began work as a CIA case officer in 1994, maintained a top-secret clearance, and signed numerous non-disclosure agreements during his tenure at CIA. Well, in August 2012, Lee and his family left Hong Kong to return to the States to live in Northern Virginia. While traveling back to the United States, Lee and his family had hotel stays in Hawaii and Virginia. During each of the hotel stays, FBI agents conducted court-authorized, in other words, they had a search warrant, searches of Lee's room and luggage and found that Lee was in an unauthorized possession of materials relating to national defense. Specifically, agents found 2 small notebooks containing handwritten notes that contained classified information, including but not limited to true names and phone numbers of assets and covert CIA employees, operational notes from asset meetings, operational meeting locations, and locations of covert facilities. Well, Lee made his initial appearance in a courtroom today. He is charged with unlawful retention of national defense information and faces a maximum penalty of 10 years in prison. Actual sentences for federal crimes are typically less than the maximum. And, well, this is going to be an interesting one to watch. I just had to bring this one to light. Oh, I could have found a good guys with guns story. I'm sure I could have. In fact, I have to. Maybe I'll do that on Thursday. But this one speaks to follow your intuition. And this took place in Australia. You know I try and have something happy to end things with. Okay? Samuel Lethbridge is lucky to be alive. He's 17. His father hired a helicopter to search for him. It was a hunch on his father's part. And, well, he feared the worst when his son did not return home Sunday morning after Saturday night out with friends in a nearby city of Newcastle. He reported his son as a missing person to police and then contacted a helicopter service to help him search. Because when he talked to the police, they just said he'd probably run away. And when he said, "That's not my son," they blew him off. Well, Dad wasn't about to let this go on, his son go on, not look for his son. So, it's not a flat road. Australia's not known for just open flat terrain. So, he went down to a helicopter company, and normally they charge a significantly more, like over $200 more for an hour worth of work. But once they told him his predicament, they said, "Yep, you're going up." And they took him up in a helicopter, and they did an aerial search for his son's car. His son's car was off the road about 12 miles from the family's home. And they spotted it within 15 minutes. The teenager was cut from the wreck some 30 hours after the crash. He suffered multiple fractures and remains in serious condition, but he is alive. And guess what? He's alive because his dad listened to his instincts. And I just thought that was such a good news story. And the aviation people said it would have been nearly impossible to see the wreck from the road because it was well below the road level, but it was very easy to spot from the air. The teen's uncle was the first to reach the car. He was terrified of what he would find. But they saw Sam's head move, and everybody was ecstatic. So Samuel Lethbridge may be in intensive care, but guess what? Job well done, Dad. You didn't let anybody tell you to back down. You listened to your instincts, and you did what you felt was right. Way to go. So that's the good news story for the day. All right, folks, I could keep going. I really could. But yeah, that's not all the show prep. That's what's left. Like I said, I've got more than I ever get through. Maybe we'll try and keep quackers on the sidelines tomorrow. But Justin should be here with us. All right. Just as a reminder, you can listen to Jesse's POV on iHeart, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spreaker. And I thank everyone that listens, whether you listen live or Memorex. But if you want to engage in the snark and the side comments that don't make the air, you'll need to join me live in the chat room at klrnradio.com/chat. Now, of course, you're welcome to send me snarky comments, amusement, suggestion, critiques, whatever you'd like at Jesse's POV at klrnradio.com. If you are an author of a book or know someone who is, please have them shoot me an email at jessespov at klrnradio.com. I would love to have them as a guest on my other show, Jesse's Coffee Shop. All right, folks. On that note, yeah, I'm getting it queued up. I still haven't finalized it yet. Sorry. But on that note, folks, I got to make my way on out of here because Jen and Rick is hot on my heels. And I will see you tomorrow night with my buddy Justin. So you get Jesse and Justin tomorrow. All right, folks. Have a good one.